The terrifying paradox of self-awareness. You've been watching yourself for years now, not in mirrors, in decisions, in patterns, in the space between what you say you want and what you actually do. You've gotten good at it, naming your triggers, spotting your defense mechanisms, recognizing the exact moment you start to sabotage. You can narrate your own breakdown in real time, and somehow, knowing all of this hasn't changed a thing. You're more self-aware than you've ever been, and you're still here, still repeating it, still stuck in the same financial patterns you diagnosed 3 years ago. The awareness didn't set you free. It just made you a more articulate prisoner. You know why you overspend when you're stressed. You know why you avoid looking at your accounts. You know why you freeze when it's time to invest. You've read the books. You've done the journaling. You understand yourself better than most people ever will. And yet every month you're back in the same place, watching yourself do it again. This isn't about needing more insight. This is about what happens when insight becomes its own trap. When self-awareness stops being the tool and starts being the cage. Most people think self-awareness is the finish line. The moment you see the pattern, the moment you can name what's broken, that's supposed to be when everything shifts. That's the story we've been sold. Understand yourself and you'll fix yourself. Identify the wound and it heals. Recognize the cycle and you'll break it. But that's not what happened, is it? You became more self-aware, and the pattern got louder. You started seeing it everywhere. Every financial decision became a referendum on your psychology. Every impulse to spend became evidence of something deeper. Every time you avoided your budget, you didn't just feel guilty. You felt like you were failing at self-knowledge itself. The awareness didn't simplify anything. It complicated everything. Because now you're not just making a bad decision. You're making a bad decision while fully understanding why you're making it. You're not just overspending. You're overspending while watching yourself overspend, knowing exactly which emotional need you're trying to fill, which childhood wound you're trying to soothe, which version of success you're performing for. And that makes it worse because you can't even pretend you don't know better. You do know better. You know everything. And you're doing it anyway. There's a specific kind of exhaustion that comes with this. It's not the tiredness of ignorance. It's the tiredness of seeing too clearly and still not being able to move. You've named the pattern, you've traced it back, you've connected the dots between your relationship with money and your relationship with control, between your spending habits and your need for validation, between your fear of investing and your fear of being seen. You've built the entire psychological map, and you're still lost inside it. Because here's what no one tells you about self-awareness. It doesn't come with instructions. It just comes with more questions. You see the pattern, but you don't know how to interrupt it. You understand the fear, but you don't know how to act through it. You recognize the moment you're about to sabotage, and then you watch yourself do it anyway, like you're a passenger in your own life, narrating the crash as it happens. The awareness gave you language. It didn't give you leverage. And after a while, the awareness itself starts to feel like the problem. Because now you're not just stuck. You're stuck, and you know why you're stuck, which somehow makes you more stuck. You've become fluent in your own dysfunction, and fluency without movement is just a prettier paralysis. Here's where it gets terrifying. The more self-aware you become, the more you start performing your own insight. You can describe your patterns so well that describing them starts to feel like dealing with them. You talk about your money anxiety with the precision of a therapist. You explain your avoidance like you're presenting a case study. You've turned your own struggle into content you deliver to yourself. And somewhere in that performance, the urgency dies. Because if you can explain it this well, it must mean you're handling it. If you understand it this deeply, it must mean you're working on it. But you're not working on it, you're workshopping it, you're refining the narrative, you're getting better at the diagnosis while the condition stays exactly the same. This is the trap. Self-awareness becomes the thing you do instead of the thing that leads to doing. It becomes the substitute for change, not the catalyst. You spend so much time understanding why you're afraid to invest that you never actually invest. You spend so much energy mapping your relationship with money that you never actually change the relationship. The insight becomes the destination. And you stay there, turning it over and over, finding new layers, new connections, new explanations, all while the bank account stays the same, the debt stays the same, the fear stays the same. And the worst part, you start to protect the pattern. Not consciously, but subtly, because if the pattern is who you are, if your financial struggle is tied to your identity, your story, your psychological makeup, then changing it feels like losing yourself. You've spent so long understanding this version of you that letting it go feels like tearing up the map. What are you without the struggle you've learned to narrate so well? What are you without the wound you've gotten so good at describing? The self-awareness that was supposed to free you starts to justify staying. You tell yourself you're being patient. You tell yourself you're being gentle with your process. You tell yourself you're honoring your complexity, and maybe you are, but maybe you're also just afraid of what happens when you stop explaining and start moving. Because movement means risk. Movement means you might fail in ways you can't intellectualize. Movement means stepping outside the safety of understanding and into the uncertainty of becoming, and that's scarier than staying stuck. At least here you know the terrain. At least here you're the expert. There's a moment that keeps happening. You'll be in the middle of another month where nothing changed. Same income, same spending, same avoidance, same guilt. And you'll catch yourself mid-pattern, aware of every single psychological thread. You'll see it happening. You'll name it. You'll understand it. And then you'll feel something sharp and cold. The realization that knowing isn't enough. That all this insight, all this self-work, all this internal archaeology, it hasn't moved the needle. The number in your account doesn't care how well you understand your spending triggers. Your future doesn't care how articulate you are about your fear of investing. The pattern doesn't break just because you can describe it beautifully, and in that moment, the self-awareness you worked so hard to build feels like a betrayal. Because it promised transformation, and it delivered observation. It gave you the ability to watch yourself suffer with more precision. It didn't give you the ability to stop. So you're left standing in this strange, quiet horror. The horror of seeing everything and changing nothing. The horror of knowing yourself completely and still being trapped. The horror of realizing that understanding might not be the key you thought it was. It might just be another room in the same house. But here's the thing no one says about self-awareness. It was never supposed to be the whole answer. It was supposed to be the beginning. The moment you see the pattern isn't the moment it ends. It's the moment you get to choose whether you're going to keep describing it or start interrupting it. And interrupting it doesn't require more insight. It requires something smaller, something quieter, something you've been avoiding because it doesn't feel significant enough. It requires one different action, not a perfect action, not a transformative action, just one action that doesn't fit the pattern, one choice that contradicts the story you've been telling yourself about who you are with money. The pattern says you overspend when you're anxious. The interruption is spending $0 during the next anxiety spike, not because you figured out the root cause, but because you didn't. The pattern says you avoid your bank account. The interruption is opening the app and staring at the number for 10 seconds, not to fix anything, just to stop avoiding. The pattern says you'll start investing when you feel ready. The interruption is moving $20 into an index fund while you still feel unready. These actions feel too small to matter. That's why they work, because they're not about solving the pattern. They're about proving that the pattern doesn't own you, that you can see it and still step outside of it. That self-awareness isn't a cage unless you let it be. If you've made it here with me, I want to invite you to